Yay, Mandy. How
Hello.
how are you?
I'm
Hi,
very
good
well.
night. Oh, good, good, good. So everyone, if you could just let me know how it sounds out there. We're having a little bit of technical difficulty tonight, so I want to make sure everything's cool. As far as the sound down there. So I don't know. So speak some more. Let's say. So I know it's been crazy. We're getting so close
I'm
to the
very
trial.
excited about it.
Yeah. Mm. It,
Very.
it it's making my stomach hurt. I'm so excited.
I know. And then I try not to get my hopes up because it is the legal system and anything can happen. And one person on the jury feeling a specific way. And
Mhm.
I mean, that's what it is,
Yeah.
you know? So
Mhm. Yeah. They're saying you're still a little low. Can you try to pull yourself up on your side a little?
I'm always low.
I'm not sure. Let me speak
Okay.
some more.
I
Hello,
don't,
John. Thank you. Hello, Kelly and Pickle. Thanks for T King. Welcome. Speak some more and let them hear you. Well, you disappeared on me totally. What'd you do? There's something with your headphones. All right, try again because I don't hear you at all now. Um,
can you hear me now?
I'm okay. It's coming back. It's coming in.
Oh my God.
It
Oh,
might be me. I'm just want to make sure with them. I apologize, everyone. Can you just, Mandy, just talk a little bit?
okay. So, yeah, there's been a ton going on, as we all know.
Mm-hmm.
There's been a lot of filings happening because specific dates are coming up, and um, it's just, well, I'm just looking at this. Is that better?
I'm hoping so. So far, like, just
Okay.
keep talking. They say she's faint, so meaning you're still far away. Mm.
Oh my God.
I know. You know what? Don't be frustrated. It happens. The StreamYard's been really messing up, really messing up. So,
I know. You'd think I'd figure this out, though.
they said that it's getting stronger, so that's good. So just a little bit more, and then just it says it gets better the longer you talk. So it could just be
Oh,
adjusting.
do I
So
have one
let's
of those? Yeah, do I
hmm?
have one of those microphones that's like recognizes when I'm speaking?
You might be, it might be like
That
Discord push to talk. All right, so here you go. I'm gonna shut up and you're
okay.
gonna take this and just keep talking, and we'll hope it just gets louder and louder and gets better. I hope it just
Okay,
resolves itself. Okay. And get
perfect.
closer to your mic, they said, or don't move around or whatever. So
Okay,
that's like,
I'm not moving. I'm closer.
okay.
Good. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, we were going to talk about doing a quick recap really quick.
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to sort of refer people back to a previous video of ours that was December 15th. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Amber has said that was headbutt, she had black eyes, she had a busted lip, she had bruised ribs, all of these things happened.
Mm-hmm.
And the next day she went on the Corbin show. So we're aware of that incident.
Mm-hmm.
So between December 16th and when they were supposed to go to the Bahamas for Christmas, um, I'm looking at the connection. When they were supposed to go to the Bahamas for Christmas,
Mm-hmm.
Johnny was just going to go with his children. He just needed to step away from everything after what had gone on. So he did not want her friends to go. I think Aya was supposed to go. Raquel was supposed to go. Raquel's fiance at the time. So a bunch of her friends were going
Mm-hmm.
to go. And he didn't want anyone to go. He wanted it to be himself and his kids.
Right.
Um,
Right.
her father texted Johnny and just asked him, and the proof is out there, everybody. The text messages are actually on the
Mm-hmm.
real Laura B's website, Jax's website,
Yep.
and
Mhm.
the movie Mystery Mayhem podcast.
Right, the podcast,
Yeah.
right. We
So
Road to Fairfax, which another episode just came out like yesterday. I think it
yeah,
was it
which
yesterday or
was
today?
talking this
Hmm.
incident that we're going to talk about was what they talked about. So
Hmm.
um so then Johnny decided to be the nice guy that he is and have Amber come with his kids.
Hmm.
So while they were on the island, Amber was like texting people. The proof is there, saying that they were having a great time and everybody was getting along very well. And Johnny and her were doing well because they had just had this incident in the middle of December. So then, um, obviously, it goes to all heinous. It goes terrible.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
Johnny was abused again. And Amber, claimed this big, huge entire thing, and we're going to get into that tonight. What happened?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
that's what we are.
Her statement is so outrageous. Like she really goes into great detail about all of this stuff, and then like immediately afterwards, you see pictures of her like within hours that are just like,
Yeah,
how
yeah,
could any of that, like, and you, it's just so frustrating. I always find myself here at this point where I am very biased about um Amber's opinion about all of this. And I hate to be like to for anyone to think that I'm just like not believing a victim here, but I really do think that she's really going out of her way to make things much much worse than anything. I mean, every time they have an argument, she's making like she gets beat. And it's not happening. Like you don't really see it. I mean, you don't see it at all. We've got witnesses who were like right there with the whole thing going on saying that like that didn't happen, like we don't know what she's talking about, like that didn't happen. So
yeah.
I don't know, it's very, it gets to be so mm, mm. I knew it, Krabby, right? It's the Johnny Depp stuff, it's the Johnny stuff. Yep. Okay. Hello,
So,
Jean. Yes.
so you're going to start off reading correct, and you're just going to read from.
I am going to read the
Yes,
statement of, I'm going to read that right now. I'm going to read the statement of Tara Reid. I believe that is who I am looking right here. Okay, and this
Roberts.
was Roberts, right? Not Reed's. Oh, she caught me. There you go. There's a definitely Tara Roberts of Little Halls Pond in the Bahamas, and she says as follows: I have worked for the claimant as his estate manager on his Bahamian island property since December 2008. I confirm that, save where otherwise appears, the facts stated in this witness statement are within my own knowledge, and that those facts are true to the best of my knowledge and belief. Where facts are not within my own knowledge, I confirm that they are true to the best of my information and belief, and the source of that information is set out. I make this witness statement in support of the claimant's claim in these proceedings. I do not know the full details of the claimant's claim against the defendant in these proceedings. I confirm this witness statement was obtained through a combination of material taken from the declaration I provided in June of 2019 for use in the U.S. libel claim brought by the claimant against his ex-wife, Miss Amber Heard, which addresses many of the same facts. I am aware of the violent allegations that have been made publicly for the last few years by Johnny Depp's ex-wife, Miss Amber Heard. My experience of Johnny and Amber's relationship. I never saw Johnny, who is an unusually kind man, be violent or aggressive with Amber or anyone else. I observed in December 2015 to my colleagues that Amber was a thrower, someone who threw projectiles. I also witnessed Amber lunge violently at Johnny, pull his hair, and commit other aggressive physical acts against him, as well as the visible aftermath of the incidents outlined in this statement. Prior to Johnny's marriage to Amber, he was outgoing, friendly, and social. It was a family environment when he would visit the island. Throughout their relationship and marriage, there was a distinct change in Johnny, and the once social and animated person spent most days sleeping, became withdrawn, and our meals together dwindled to non existent. General socialization or just moments to discuss island issues stopped as she would randomly show up. Very rarely were we allowed to be alone with him, as she would wiggle her way into the discussions.
So I think
Events of
you could skip that part if you want. I mean, you could say it, but that part's
yeah,
from August. But
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
it's up to
We
you.
want to go to December. We want to get to December. Right. During the evening of December 29th, December 2015, Johnny drove to the office alone in his John Deere Gator. He had said he just needed to get away from Amber. Shortly after, Amber showed up at the office. Amber started pleading with him to come back to the house. At that point, I walked out of the office. A few minutes later, I heard his vehicle start and I stepped outside. Amber was standing in front of the vehicle, screaming at him and apparently not letting him get away by blocking his path. Then she climbed into the vehicle. He drove her back to the house. I got in my golf cart and went to the cafe, which is a short distance from the house. I called Christy Dombrowski, Johnny's sister, as I was unsure how far this would go. While I could not hear what caused the fight, Amber repeatedly berated him with increasingly ferocity. She was insulting him, calling him names, and in the middle of this onslaught, I heard her say specifically, "Your career is over. No one is going to hire you. You're washed up, fat. You will die a lonely man." And also screaming things that were incomprehensible. At some point, Johnny tried to leave again, as they were now in the parking lot. He repeatedly asked for the key for the vehicle, which she had taken out, refused to give back to him, and which we later found in the house. He was responding to her verbal attacks by saying, "Go away and just leave me alone." Amber's screaming and berating rose to a fever pitch, and Johnny continued to yell, "Go away and leave me alone." I asked Christy what I should do, and she said I should keep an eye on the situation. As Amber's rage continued to escalate, and I described the scene to Christy, she said that I needed to intervene and I should go to Johnny's assistance. I hung up immediately, ran to the parking lot. I saw Amber lunge at Johnny, clawing, tugging, and aggressively pulling him. He continued to stand there, yelling at her to stop and leave him alone. When he stepped back to leave, her onslaught would start again. During this entire incident, I never saw Johnny hit Amber or push her back, nor did he physically react to the attacks. She would calm down and hug and apologize. Then he would say he needs to leave and it would start again. Finally, I stepped between them. She continued to reach for him, but maybe my presence stopped it. I walked him to the cafe and he laid on the couch, and that is when I saw that he now had a red swelling gash on the bridge of his nose. Amber, Johnny then told me, had thrown a quart-sized can of lacquer thinner into Johnny's face, causing a gash. The next morning, the bushes around their house were filled with art supplies that had been thrown, including paintbrushes, paint tubes, and the deck was stained with thinner. There was no damage to the house, and she made no mention to me of what had transpired the night before and into the morning. Amber had also removed her wedding ring and thrown it and had asked for help finding it as they were leaving that afternoon. It was found and returned to her. Amber was makeup free and unmarked throughout this Christmas visit to the island, as she was usually makeup free when on the island. I never saw her with any sign of injury on her face or body whatsoever. During this visit in Christmas 2015, Amber had a photographer on the island to conduct a photo shoot. We did not know this was happening, nor did Johnny's children. My recollection is that the photographer, Greg Williams, who arrived on the 27th of December with his partner, took photographs the day after Amber's rampage, during departure of an uninjured Amber and of Johnny, who had a visible gash on the bridge of his nose. Also present on the island during this 2015 visit was Johnny's son, daughter, and his daughter's friend. Johnny's children did witness the aftermath of the events of December on 29th December, as I got them that morning, explained to them what had happened, and took them to their father. When Amber would depart the island, she would always leave a considerable number of personal belongings behind. When she left the island on the 31st of December, she took everything she owned with her. When we did our usual post-visit cleanup, I made the observation to the other employees that all Amber's belongings and toiletries were no longer in the house. I believe the facts stated in this witness statement are true. I understand the proceedings for contempt of court may be brought against anyone who makes or causes to be made a false statement in a document verified by statement of truth without an honest belief in its truth. And it is here verified and signed by Tara Roberts. Here we go.
Yep.
Okay, so when you think presentation time, picture time?
Let's do the pictures.
Yeah, because they correlate exactly with these.
With what Tara says. Yep, absolutely. Oh, Lord.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, love him.
I know. Go all the way here, right? Because I showed you and I was like, not there. Okay. So, whoops. Sorry, guys. What can I tell you? Everything. Don't forget the like button. Thank you, Facty, and welcome. I'm just checking the chat real quick before we start. Yeah, okay. Checking everything's good. I'm not sure, John. Mandy, do you recall? Yeah, you did. Okay, basically over, and it will be her own doing. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So she did actually threaten the producer. Yeah, I had heard rumors about that too. I just don't recall the producer's name. It's not coming to me as I saw the question. But
yeah, and I also watched another video and I was appalled because I'm a huge Kevin Costner fan. I always have been. And Kevin Costner, I guess, told a story about when they were doing a movie together. After the movie was over, Amber walked up to him at some party and made some comment to him about something, and his response was, except for when you're arguing with your boyfriend and show up naked in my trailer.
Except for when you're arguing with your boyfriend and show up naked in my trailer. That kind of correlates to some pictures in an elevator I just saw on Laura's feed. Did you see that? Here she is, just like walking around naked all the time, like throwing herself at people in the elevator. That was weird too. That was weird.
Kevin Costner too. She came on to him and he clapped back. I think it's hilarious. I think she's making a name for herself, and like I said, John, it'll be her.
Oh my gosh, it's not the kind of name I would want. That's for sure.
No, definitely not.
And me, I'm streaming naked on Friday nights and don't really care about talking about all kinds of things like my sex life and all that. But I still wouldn't want this reputation because she's a liar. She just. And crazy, I think she's getting a little bit of a crazy reputation here too, like the girl, yeah, it's in the eyes, guys. It's in the eyes. Always look. I'm just telling you. Yeah. All right. Okay, so this is part of the statements that she gave in regards to this these allegations she's making about. This is the Bahamas trip in December after the fight that happened in Australia in the middle of December, right?
And mind you, she
around the 15th.
Yeah, she changed her statement after Tara's statement came out. So she tries to mold this to potentially what Tara may have seen. So when you're reading through this, it says right there, on the occasion that Tara mentions. So she's trying to make it that all this stuff that happened to her happened previous to the situation that Tara saw. It's just ridiculous. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so this is in Amber's words here. There were several fights on the island over a few days. Often Johnny would not often fall asleep after he drank too much. On the occasion that Tara Yeah, always, always, even though he's like sober, right? Okay,
Sober.
on the occasion that Tara mentions, he had been sitting down with the kids and he had a glass of wine in his hand. He passed out and the glass spilled all over me. I told him to give me the wine. I was concerned about his son Jack seeing him like this. The same thing happened again, and then I got wine dumped on my lap a third time. I stood up and said, "Stop, you're falling asleep." I went into the kitchen and Jack got up and asked if he could help me. And I said, "Thank you, Jack," while looking at Johnny. I then went into my closet to get changed. Johnny came into the closet, charging in. I was attempting to change clothes. I had my bathing suit on under a t shirt. He slammed me up against the wall inside the closet. He choked me up against the wall and told me if I ever spoke to him like that, he would fucking kill me. After holding me there, he let go of my neck. I went into the bathroom after saying something over my shoulder. When I was no longer in his grasp, to the effect of, "Don't ever talk to me like that again." I rolled my eyes and went into the bathroom. Then he rushed into the bathroom after me, slammed me up against the door. He proceeded to mock and taunt me while I was immobilized, asking me how tough I was and if I would like that. I refer to further details of this incident in the confidential schedule to this statement.
Oh, oh my God. Oh my, can I
Oh
comment?
my God. Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely. Go. Let go.
Okay. So I'm gonna go. I hate her statements. It drives me
I know it
crazy.
does
I'm like,
because
oh,
yeah, there's
okay.
nothing to them.
So
Yeah.
this is what Jax and Laura were talking about on the podcast, and I love the two of them, and I agree 100%. So
Mhm.
Johnny is falling asleep because he is so drunk. Then
Mhm.
who gets up to get 3 glasses of wine for him? Because she says this is the third time it happens. Yet she
Right.
says that he's so drunk he's passed out. But he gets up and gets more wine and spills it on her again, and gets up and get more wine and spills it on her again. And he's so drunk
Mhm.
and he's passed out that when she goes up to the bedroom, he comes at her with all of this rage and anger. I thought he was passed out on the couch drunk.
Yeah. So how could he be passed out asleep and a fully capable? I mean, I guess you can stumble around drunk. I mean, we all know like drunks can be
Yeah,
volatile or
I
whatever
agree.
like they. But it's the fact that they change. There's no like consistency on how things get from point A to point B, which
Yeah,
is very consistent. Like I've noticed in all of her statements, we get from point A to point B, and she kind of leaves the middle stuff out, like the normal stuff that people would tell you, like how you got from A to B. She's not able to fill all of that in. It's very
well,
inconsistent,
yeah,
you know.
and with your witness statements, how many witness statements do you need, Amber, to one event? You don't need 15 because the truth is the one event. You can have versions of truth. You know what I
Right.
mean? You can have
Uh huh.
the way you saw something and the way I saw something. That can be different. But one person, myself, cannot have 15 different versions of an event that took place, and I'm having to change it because proof came out that said that the first version was wrong. Oh, okay. Oh yeah. Oh my gosh, I must have forgot it wasn't um
Uh huh.
December 15th. It was December, you know,
Mm-hmm.
25th. No. You don't change your reality to fit. I can't even. I don't know. It gets
Mm-hmm.
me so riled up to hear her witness statements, to hear the NGN ruling, how awful that ruling was, and how he obviously was 100% on Amber's side the whole entire time. So I
Mm-hmm.
can't even
Yep.
listen to it. Yeah.
Yep.
And then
Hey,
sometimes I
Mhm.
feel like the way that she's explaining a story is actually what she does to him.
I think so. It's only because that little kernel of truth that's there that gives her the emotional
Right.
aspect of talking about it. That
Yeah.
she is actually a lot of the witness statements do kind of give you details about that with the stuff that's happening. Like when
Right.
they say that she's a thrower and stuff like that, and she's
And then
like,
she accuses him of throwing
mhm.
stuff at her.
And then right, which nobody ever sees.
Yeah. You know, there were
No, I
witnesses.
get it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
his nurse Debbie and one of the security guards were witness to her spitting in his face.
Yep. Yep.
Like,
I mean, yep.
oh my God. It just, ugh,
Hmm.
okay.
And let's not forget, if you go back to us covering Australia for December 2015, you will actually see visual pictures where she has no marks on her face. And we've actually uncovered pictures of Johnny from the same period of time where he does look a little beat up, like
Well,
a
like
lot beat up.
these ones,
Okay.
did I send you the one of them standing next to each other? So
Yeah,
this
hold
one,
on. Yeah.
yeah, this
Well,
one
let me
is
get like okay. So these are some pictures taken by the photographer, of course. These are the shots, okay? But there's candid shots too. Okay. That
yeah,
is
from
that
the
is one of the from the actually from where they're staying. Okay. Look. She's this one?
she's barely wearing anything. And
Right.
he's the one all covered up.
All covered up.
And
Hmm.
she supposedly, well, we're going to hear in just a minute because you're going to read it exactly what
Hmm.
she claimed. And look at these pictures. And this is
I
no
know.
make.
I just so y'all know, I'm taking it on the chin for you. It's a great sacrifice to have to read Amber Heard's words.
Ugh.
Just so you know. I know.
Yeah,
I'm doing
you
it for Mandy because Mandy would
should
not get through it. No, she would vomit. She would. Well, let me just say, look at these pictures. There's nothing, okay? There's nothing. I don't see wine in front of him. Hmm. But she looks fine and she looks no bruises. Look. What's
So
she gonna be?
yeah, the
Okay,
reason,
this is important. I'm
yeah,
leaving this one here. We'll come back to this one, people. This is
and
gonna be important.
I sent this one because so Amber's one of her tells that she does is she picks the skin off her lip.
Yep.
And
Hmm.
there's been tons of pictures
Okay.
of her walking
Look at
down the
you.
street.
Look at you can see because if you
Mhm,
look at the base of the lip of the top lip and you follow the curvature there, and you can see that she picks at her lips and she chews on them. She chews on her
mhm.
lips with her
Yeah,
teeth. Uh-huh. That's not from anybody hitting you because when you have more like I don't know, I don't want to speculate. I mean, knowing her mouth, I could see myself cracking her one in the mouth a little bit just to
right?
get her to shut up. I know that sounds terrible. I know that's going to be an awful clip, but still, I mean, she's so infuriating. But this does look actually like she does. She bites. That's a tooth mark. Okay, for sure. But
Yeah.
anyway. Hey, let me. You want the other statement? Is that it?
Yes,
Let
because
me see.
now that we've seen the pictures and read this statement,
Mm-hmm.
now we get to hear what Amber claims happened.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Lord, give me
Yeah.
strength.
All right. Yeah. Give me strength. I gotta read this crap. All right.
You
This is
strength.
and of course it's like 3 times longer than the other one. All right. So anyway, this is Miss Heard. I Amber of blah 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 blah. She's an actor, a model, and an activist. The
Lies.
facts and matters set out in this statement. You know what? Do what you got to do, boo, but don't make me laugh. I mean, go ahead. Do what you got to do. I'll try not to laugh. And I apologize for not taking this as seriously as I should. It's a legal document, and I should actually be reading it with all decorum and all of that. But
That's
I
true.
oh, I warned you all that this series, I am totally biased. We don't like her. I'm sorry. We do not like her. And I'm going to read this statement, and it's hard to give it the actual importance that a legal document needs, because let's face it, she probably changed it 5 times already, and I don't even know if this is the most current version of
No,
what she's saying or
no,
submitted to the court, because I can't even keep up with how many times she has to retract
it's really,
and put it through. So with that statement being made, I shall try. I shall try for you all because I like you guys. I really do. And
okay.
I will just try. And I'll do it for Mandy so she doesn't
I'll
have to.
behave.
No, don't behave. Like, do what you got to do, boo. I never want you to do anything but you. All right. So the facts and matters are set out in this statement are within my own knowledge unless otherwise stated. And I believe them to be true. Where I refer to information supplied by others, the source of the information is identified. Facts and matters derived from these other sources are true to the best of my knowledge and belief. This witness statement was prepared through a series of calls and video calls. I exhibit various documents to this witness statement, where an exhibit document is, as at today's date, already contained in the trial bundle in order to avoid unnecessary duplication. I give the trial bundle reference below, but do not attach a further copy of the document to my witness statement. Where a document is not presently contained in the trial bundle, I'll exhibit a copy of it separately in an exhibit. Daily Mail Recording 1,
Oh,
published on February 1st.
I think we're gonna
What?
have to find it. I think we're gonna have to find it. So scroll down.
We're going to have to scroll down to find the.
I think it's on this one. I sent you the right one.
Oh, wait. Are we trying to get to December? Wait.
Yes. Hold on. Witness statement, Johnny Depp.
Hold on. I'll get it. Well, we don't want to read all the. Oh, Tara Roberts, right?
Yeah. Read from here.
Right here. All right. In paragraph 8 of Tara Roberts' statement, she says that before Johnny and I married in 2015, the island was a different environment and that my influence altered things. That is not true. I started going to Johnny's Island as a guest in around early 2012. It was very much Johnny's Island. I didn't set the rules or tone, and I had no control over it and minimal communication with the staff, and that did not change. Until I read Tara's statement, I was not aware that the island staff had ever had meals with Johnny. There is a little village on the island, and we would sometimes go there, but my understanding was always that Johnny had a lot of alone time in the Bahamas and that the staff kept separate. That was certainly my experience, and there was no mention of any communal meals prior to my going there. I certainly didn't prevent that happening, nor would I have thought to do so. If that practice stopped, it had nothing to do with me. I did not have a personal relationship with Tara Roberts. I also never heard Johnny express any kind of bond or personal relationship with her. He rarely, if ever, mentioned her. Tara would, however, occasionally talk to me about Johnny's behavior on the island. My impression was that she was concerned about his relationship with alcohol and drugs. To give an example, I recall an incident when Johnny was mad about having to sell his yacht, which was necessary because of his financial problems. Johnny got extremely drunk and high while his children were with us on the island, and his daughter, Lily Rose, was very upset. Johnny was acting so crazily that both Lily Rose and Johnny's son Jack wanted to leave the island. Tara and the island staff arranged for a helicopter to come and get Lily Rose and me, and I flew off the island with her. Jack ended up staying. Tara told me the next time I was on the island that Johnny got even worse after we left. She said that Jack found Johnny passed out face forward in the sand on the beach. Jack couldn't wake him up and so had to call island staff for help. Aside from some conversations like that, the interactions I had with Tara were mostly limited to the logistical things and little more. Tara says that it is a tiny island and gives the impression that she always knew what was going on. Tara and the other members of Johnny's staff lived and mainly worked in a different part of the island from Johnny's part, in the small village I mentioned above. The idea that Tara was around seeing what was going on with Johnny day in and day out is a complete misrepresentation. The staff were not within shouting distance, not even close. You had to call the island staff via radio to get through to them. Once you reached someone, they would usually come via an all-terrain vehicle on what was basically a pebble dirt road. The journey was about 15 or 20 minutes by ATV, though towards the end of 2015, the road started to get paved, so the journey time may have decreased. I don't remember seeing or interacting with Tara during Johnny's and my trip to the island for him to detox in August 2014. I don't believe she was around or nearby during the violent incidents that I have described. Oh boy. So now we get to talk about the incident. All right, December 2015 incident. Tara describes an incident she says she witnessed at the end of December 2015. The truth is that she only saw the very end of what happened. Things were bad between Johnny and me after December 15th incident in our penthouse, which I have described previously. My family, my best friend's family, and her husband's family had all flown in to spend Christmas together. Johnny came over on December 20th and spent 2 days begging me to come to the island for Christmas with him and his kids. He promised me he was going to get clean, wanted us to spend Christmas together, and wanted to work on our relationship. My friends and family were trying to prevent me from going and expressed their concern about my safety in life.
Lies. That's
John,
lies. There's
I know,
proof. That's lies.
I know. And oh, by the way, Amber's father has agreed to testify on Johnny's witness list, right? I just saw a video about that. Hmm.
I know that he has to give a deposition. I didn't know
Yeah,
he
it's
was
going to
going to
be. He's
testify.
going to be. He's going to be given a deposition.
Yeah.
So, but that's what I mean. I don't mean like he'll be in the court
Yeah.
to sit there, but he gave a deposition, and it can be. They're going to be able to question it on the other side. But he has given a statement for them, and I
Yeah.
also heard that Miss Heard is not very happy about it. Well, I don't.
She shouldn't be happy about lots of things.
Yeah, I know, right?
Right.
Yeah, Miss Heard being unhappy is not really concerning me right now
Yeah.
at all. At
At all.
all. Okay. Johnny finally convinced me to go to the island. So, a week to 10 days after the James Corden show, I flew to the island. The injuries began to fade, but she gives a evidence number, are some photographs taken on the trip, which show my cut lips scabbing over. That was the picture we showed you. That
Yeah.
was the cut lips scabbing over.
So, but mind
Okay.
you, a week to 10 days previous, she
That
had
wasn't
2
there.
black eyes, a bloody nose or broken nose, broken ribs on the James Corden show the next night. That's where those pictures came. They were all over the magazines, those pictures of her
Yep.
teardrops made in makeup.
Yep.
So mind you, the evolution of a bruise on this woman is a miracle. A
Mm-hmm.
miracle. Because she
Mm-hmm.
has no bruises and then has a bruise for like a day that looks like it's
Mm-hmm.
3 weeks old and then it's gone the next day. So, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
for being so light complected, I'm surprised how
Right.
easily she gets rid of bruises.
Right. And let's not forget that actual people saw her after the incident and said there wasn't a mark on her.
That was me being a sarcastic asshole, by the way. But
Yeah.
okay.
No, I know. And I'm sure they do too. I'm
They-
sure they appreciated it too. Every little drop of snark that you had there. But the whole thing is that she got off of this whole horrific incident that supposedly happened with
yeah.
all of those injuries, went to the James Corbin show, got into full makeup, but we have pictures before makeup and after makeup. There's not a mark on her. There is not a mark on her. But she wants us to pull up that black and white photo of those little chapped lips and say that's her healing from this horrific thing that happened. I mean, I have to. I'm just beyond. Oh, like so. Refer to last week for all of those pictures because they're lit. Like I mean, and the week before. That's like 2 weeks that we did that, right? With James Corbin, the James Corbin show. We have the whole big thing of the
Yeah.
photos up there on that too. It's been like 3 weeks we've been covering these injuries, these so-called injuries that never really appear on film. All these pictures she says she has of the injuries, and I have not seen the injuries yet. Even in
Right.
the pictures she says they're in. Like, where are they? Like, I'm sorry, that doesn't look like a busted lip healing to me. It looks like chapped lips.
Yeah.
It does. All right. There were several fights on the island. Over a few days, often Johnny would not often fall asleep after he drank too much. On the occasion that Tara mentions, we had been sitting down with the kids and he had a glass of wine in his hand. He passed out and spilled it all over me. I told him to give me the wine. I was concerned about his son Jack seeing him like that. Now, this is the part we already read. And he said he was going to kill her.
Yeah.
Yep. And then so we go down. And so then back to 27. Right. I don't want to read that again. It's bad enough I had to read it the first time. I asked Jack to go to the cafe, a hangout, and that he would join him in a minute. This was to get him out of the house. That we then got in a verbal argument, and Johnny slapped me in the face. I said something that must have provoked, and I went to leave, but the argument continued. At some point, there was a scuffle, and I thought, I've just got through this weeks ago. This can't be happening again. He
God.
pushed me as I was leaving, and I fell to the ground. I got up, and we pushed each other, his push being much stronger, and he came charging at me. The cabin is surrounded by a wooden deck, and I have art supplies set up. I'm not sure if the can of paint thinner was inside or outside the house, but it was by the art supplies. Johnny was charging at me, and I was trying to run away. I was basically trapped, so I picked up the can and threw it at him in self defense and ran the opposite way so that I could get out the other door. He caught up with me and grabbed me by the hair and yanked me around and was hitting me in the face while I tried to gain my balance. And I was flailing, trying to free myself and deflect the blows. I was trying to push Johnny off me when we saw headlights from an approaching ATV. It was nighttime by now. Tara and another man got off the vehicle. I believe it was her boyfriend CJ, but I'm not sure. They ran up and separated us. Tara shouted at us, "What's going on with you two?" CJ focused on restraining Johnny while Tara was more focused on me. That's all I remember of the incident, but I think that's the most they would have witnessed firsthand. Johnny and I were shouting at each other, though I would not have said things like, "Your career is over," as she alleges, and I was grappling to try and escape him. She saw Johnny with his hand clearly holding my hair with one hand, and I was trying to escape. In no way was I the aggressor, and it would be difficult to draw that conclusion given our posture and positioning at the time. So, as far as she says I am a thrower, I do not know what she is talking about. I have never given Tara Roberts any reason to witness or believe this.
I hate her. I really do. I dislike her so much because I was just reading ahead, listening to you, reading part of her one for Sterling, which we're not going to get into. But the third
Yeah,
sentence says the drivers usually stay in the car. No,
yeah,
that's not true. There's a reason. Just this is something that stuck with me that I heard last week. Johnny Depp's people, for him being as famous as he was, they were with him for 20, 30 years.
years. Right. And and
And
that's just like they had to be treated fairly well and decent for to be with him for that long, you know.
right.
I mean,
I'm just,
let's
yeah,
let's not also forget a 14-year relationship that he had with the mother of his children, who said he has never ever done anything remotely like what Amber is saying with her
right.
ever.
I know.
Okay. Hmm.
So,
Johnny admits to having problems in the past with alcohol and with drugs, but he also admits that during the time of this marriage in the beginning, he was not the one abiding. It was Amber. And so do her friends agree, and even most of the witnesses. Amber was the one who was drinking most of the time.
oh, that's what I wanted to tell you because this Whitney heard her sister.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess during the Australia incident where she
Okay.
severed her finger, there's a witness statement from somebody who was with Whitney Heard when she found out about the incident in Australia. And
Yeah.
Whitney actually said to this woman, "Oh my God, she's gone and done it. She cut off his fucking finger."
Yup. I recall I remember
So
this.
that's
I
in this
remember that.
also. Yeah, it's just
Mhm.
crazy. And I think the part that's just hard for me because I like to be an honest person is that these people are willing to go in a court of law or
Yep.
under oath and lie.
Mm-hmm.
And it just blows my mind. I just can't.
Mm-hmm.
It's just
Mm-hmm.
not something I do.
Basically, one of the things that Laura did on her Twitter today was highlight and remind us about the previous incident in Australia, how they did have a nurse checking in on her and a doctor did check in on her. And the only injuries they ever talked about were her being overly agitated and needing things for insomnia or anxiety.
Right.
That's it.
She
They
was on
never,
a
they
lot of
never, They never saw a thing. Here's a picture from the James Corbin show. Like no injuries whatsoever as she's playing up to the camera in the back room. Um, you know, Amber Heard. Everyone around me saw all the bruises and the broken blood vessel under my eye, the bruises on my head, the missing chunks of hair, the split lip, the black eye, the swollen nose, and all that shit because you're stronger. It does not mean because they heard me that I am somehow more responsible. It just means they heard me because I yell in a fight. You do provoke. I yell. It doesn't mean I am more responsible or badder. However, I am exposed via that distance of between Cafe Carbronis and the house is significant. And I know that does not mean that they got an accurate representation of our fight. If you told them stuff, great, cool, thanks for exposing me. As I said to you before, don't do it again unless you want me to really also tell my side of things, because trust me. That's Amber threatening Johnny. Really. And she's saying that they couldn't have possibly have seen anything about the argument.
Mm-hmm.
And she's trusting the fact that they just don't know what really happened. And
Right.
it says, everyone saw the injuries. I refer you to Greg Williams' photos and the other photos. Enjoy the water toys. That is all relating to the Bahamas, those black and white photos
Yeah, all those
that we
pictures,
saw.
like,
Hmm.
because they go
Yep.
tubing and do a whole. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. She looks pretty okay to me.
Yeah.
Hmm.
It would be really hard to tube like that with like broken ribs less than 2 weeks
Hmm.
ago.
Yep,
And
I don't
yeah,
think you could. Or that running shot that they took on the beach
oh,
that would have been rough. Yeah,
yeah.
that definitely. Everyone saw my injuries. A nurse couldn't find any but a spot of blood on her lip. Bruised ribs, two black eyes, and a broken nose. No medical attention needed for all those injuries. Yeah, they're kind of hitting it home. It's not just us. It's not just us. We're not mean girls, I promise. Like this girl is out of control. With it's just she's not doing herself any good. Yeah, she really is not. Mm. Hey Jenny. Mm. I don't know, Mandy. What do you want to add, love? I know you must have something to say.
No, I just, after last week, I kind of felt bad a little bit, and I was going to address it tonight. I don't think she's here, but I think it was Belinda Paul.
Uh-huh.
Um,
Yeah.
because I just wanted to like take a second to say something.
Sure.
So I 100% understand like the patterns of domestic abuse, and
Mm-hmm.
I understand the cycle of it. I've been there. It was not great.
Mm-hmm.
But counseling, and here I am. Everything's fine. So I don't want anyone to ever think that I'm minimizing behavior by somebody,
Mm-hmm.
because we made a statement about, oh, Amber was in LA. She could have left at any time. And, comments were made that, but that's kind of a cycle and people trauma bond and stuff like that. And I'm very much aware of all of that. And I don't want people to ever feel like I'm insensitive in any way
Mm-hmm.
to victims or survivors of domestic violence or any sort of
Mm-hmm.
violence. It's
Right.
just specifically in this situation, I feel as though if anybody was afraid to
Mm-hmm.
leave or leaving and going back, or the one that was abused in this scenario specifically, that was
Mm-hmm.
Johnny. And
I do.
I
Yeah.
feel I felt kind of bad because I don't want anyone to ever feel like I'm not, just in this
Right.
case, my
Yeah.
belief is that
Mm-hmm.
Johnny's the victim. So if I'm going to
Mm-hmm.
have compassion and sympathy for what he went through, regardless of his gender,
Yeah.
um,
Right.
I'm going to stand up for that.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Mm-hmm.
but I didn't want any,
Yeah.
I kind of felt bad.
Right.
So,
And I think you and I have both said, I mean, it's hard to say it repeatedly after everything that we're saying, but we have both said we don't believe that nothing happened. We believe they did have a volatile relationship. We do
right.
believe they argued. But did he beat her? No. Is it to the extent that Amber says? Evidence says no. So therefore, we're kind of leaning no, absolutely. Is there evidence that Johnny has injuries? He has a missing top of his finger. He
Yeah.
has multiple contusions to his face, arms, and bodies at different times. We've shown you the pictures. There's more pictures of Johnny's injuries than there are of Amber's. Yet Amber's walking around with a photographer at all times and her phone at all times.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, we also have yes, a proven staged incident in the penthouse. Not the one from December 15th, but the other ones with the people in the penthouses going all the way around with
Mm.
Raquel and all of that. Yeah. All right.
She was like hiding in a closet.
Yeah. That the
Alleged.
police showed up within an hour and said none of the damage that she's claiming was there to the apartment was there when they
Yeah.
got there. And that there was no injury on this woman when they left.
Right.
Okay.
Body cam footage.
Mhm. Body cam footage. Okay, here we go. Also, we have security guards that walked into the room with Amber standing in a corner screaming as if Johnny was on top of her while he was 20 feet away. Okay,
Yeah.
screaming because she didn't know they were there. She was acting it all out for everybody to hear in a corner. They caught her doing it. Like, I don't think, I mean, yes, if it was only one or two people, you could possibly say that everybody is lying to protect Johnny. Mm. But all of these people, every
Right.
single person that works for him, every single person that has seen them together is
A
going to
hotel
be
staff.
conspiring. Hotel staff that he doesn't pay. Okay,
Right.
he's not paying them, and all. I don't know. She acts like the whole world is conspiring against her, but I think she's just acting a little bit
Oh my
entitled,
god. It was
a
so
little bit spoiled.
it
Hmm.
was so funny because in something, oh, okay, so
Yeah.
in the
Well, she
motion,
said, so did he stand up to her and she said, I'll ruin you?
yes,
Well, yeah, she has been repeatedly, there are quotes that she repeatedly has said that to people, and that they're also in text messages too. And also, probably we're going to find out, don't forget that James Franco and Elon Musk, who are, her compadres there, had given depositions. They're going to be asked what she said about Johnny. Okay. And also, you got the guy who deleted his Instagram,
Io
Tio,
Tillett.
Io Tillett. Yeah.
Io,
He,
he was a football player.
I know, I know, I know. But anyway,
Io.
he,
That's awesome.
Io, Io, Tio.
Oh
It's
Lord.
like, let me just, but anyway, he definitely has to give testimony too. And she talked to them all the time about him. Raquel too has changed her statement a few times now. You know,
Yeah. But see,
Who knows what it's going to be like on cross exam? Who knows
I don't
what's
have
actually going to come out?
have faith in these people being honest during a deposition. So, I just I
Hmm.
don't know. I don't trust in them to be honest on the stand.
Hmm.
Um, Raquel,
Hmm.
Josh Drew, Whitney, Amber, they have all lied on
Hmm.
previous depositions. What
This
is
is
going
true.
to change now?
Right. Yeah,
You
exactly. What is going to change? And all they keep accusing Johnny of is that having a lot of money and being able to throw paper at them. And you know what? Yes. And he's defending himself because his career has been taken away from him, because he has been like defamed completely. He has been accused of all of this, and he's actually suffering the repercussions of it as if he actually did it already. Already he has
know,
lost
and
millions and millions and credibility and been labeled,
yeah,
to where the whole industry turned against him. And I'll remind you that Johnny Depp's reputation as far as getting along with cast members, staff, support people was pristine before that. Yes, he drank a little. Everything, he's had wild parties. He rock starred out a little bit. He got into his head a little bit about that kind of stuff, just like they all do. Nobody's like saying he didn't. But even the people that he did that with are all still like, his friends. Like, we're like, he's a genuinely decent person. He's got long standing relationships throughout the industry with people that he's worked with.
yes.
Juju says, I have never heard a rumor that he was abusive prior to this. Not even a makeup artist complaining he was rude on set or anything. This is true. This is
Well,
true.
I mean,
People love working with him.
and the things, I mean, they dug deep to get this shit against him. They
Yep.
really did. Apparently,
They
he
did.
dated some model maybe for a while, Kate something maybe, and he
Hmm.
trashed a hotel room back in
Yes,
the
but
his 20s
Kate
or
Moss,
Kate
he
Moss.
did. He and
So,
Kate Moss definitely during their drug phases, they were out of control. And they both admitted, but they're not like, like they trashed hotel rooms. They did it together. It wasn't just him. Like she
but
pretty crazy herself.
that's
Yeah.
the stuff that they're bringing up. That's how
Yep.
how deep they're having to dig to get
Hmm.
anything on him. Um, there's one person on Amber's witness list that is an ex of Johnny's that he wasn't really interested, and she was really interested in him, and he didn't want anything to do with her. So she's testifying for Amber.
Hmm.
And it's like,
Right.
are we going to go back to the 20s? Are we going to go 30 years ago to have to dig up stuff
Hmm.
on her when we can literally go back 2 years to dig up stuff on Amber?
Uh-huh.
She's
Yep.
the problem.
Yeah, I like this. Actually, you did good with this one, John. It's I-O. It's off to court he goes.
No,
I get it. I get it. It's like hi ho, but it's I-O. I get it.
here's
It's
a,
good.
what here's what I found fascinating.
Yeah.
Raquel Pennington and Io Tillett and one other person are not being called to testify. And
Nope.
I
We
and I
all
sat
we only get
and
to
I
pick
sat
apart their depositions. That's it, right?
Yep, I sat on it and I sat on it and I was like, what's the strategy here? The
The
strategy
strategy is
is
it's
they don't
really
want
hard
to
to
cross.
lie in court when somebody's at you. You can't actually keep up a lie for very long, don't you think, Mindy? Like your
They don't
story would come. Yeah.
they don't want to have to they don't want them cross-examined by
Well,
Kath.
they would commit perjury.
Yep,
They would
because
actually, and right then and there, they could be fined by the judge and thrown in jail for
so
contempt.
so why is that though? I
You
mean,
know,
it's just
I hate to tell them if the court if Johnny's side decides to pursue it, those depositions that you gave, if there is any false information in there that comes to light, you're still going to be in just as much trouble. So that it's just not going to be as obvious because you're not on the witness stand. They
right.
still get to use that against you. So I don't know. He is close to cracking, I think. IO wiping his Twitter. John says IO wiping his Twitter could be seen as close to crack. Yes, if I was Amber's team, I'd be worried too. When your star witnesses can't be put in there as witnesses because
Instagram.
you're worried about what'll come out. His Instagram. Oh, it was Twitter or Instagram. It was his Instagram. Yep.
Yeah. He might have done it
Yep.
to his Twitter too. I don't pay attention to him, so
Mhm.
I have
And John always comes back to the deuce in the bed. We always come back to that. Exactly. Exactly. Like, to get her point across. Like that's what she had to do, huh? Hmm.
yeah.
Hmm.
So how long was that video I sent you today?
Yeah, let's play that one before we go because we have a few more minutes. I want to get you out of here on time.
I know. We're
Hmm.
kidless, so I want to go
Hmm.
spend time with
Okay,
Dad.
ta-da. We are back here with we're gonna be back. I gotta share it actually, or you can't see it. People. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm.
So,
Make
do
sure the
you want
sound is on.
do you want me to premise this real quick?
Yes, I do. Before I click on it, because it'll start playing as soon as I click. Go ahead.
So, Stevie J Raw on his channel today had an awesome panel, and one of the panel was, oh my God, I just forgot her name. Hold on, I'm going to go to Twitter real quick. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
was a lawyer, and it's not one of Johnny's lawyers. What's her name? Hold on one second. Oh my God. Okay. So, anyways, I'm going to get it for you here in just a second. So,
Mm-hmm.
had a lawyer on, and she was answering questions and kind of explaining where they are now. And also another, it was just really great. So, I think I'll send you the link so you can put in there. But it was Andrea Burkhart. Thank you. Got it.
Okay. Thank you
Andrea,
for the link. Yeah.
yep.
Mm-hmm.
She is on Twitter. I'm going to send the video. So please watch the video, you guys. It was
Mm-hmm.
so
Mm-hmm.
informative if you're
Yeah.
interested in this. But I clipped out a specific part that I asked the question and I
Mm-hmm.
wanted the answer to it. So here's the question and here's the answer.
Okay, and we're gonna go. Let's just.
Um,
Mm-mm-mm.
Wine is cheaper than therapy. I like that name.
I love
For
that.
$5, thank you so much for the $5. Is it Andrea? How problematic is it that emails came out saying the op-ed was about JD when there was an NDA in place, or is that a problem at all in this case?
So the NDA is not one of the claims that Johnny Depp is making in this case. I think that we saw at some point earlier in the litigation that the NDA may have some kind of arbitration process to it, so that if there is a dispute over whether the NDA is violated, that basically goes through a private decision-making process, and we don't necessarily know anything about it. So it is entirely possible that there's been a whole separate, ghost proceeding dealing with the violation of the NDA that we don't know about and potentially never will. In this particular case, the issue, I think it's not so much that it violated the NDA that is an issue. It is the fact that she wanted so desperately to make it about Johnny Depp in a way that other people would be able to know that. And it was literally her lawyers that are kind of forcing her to back away to make it as oblique as possible so that she still has the tiny, hair of a defense that this
Right.
done that much damage to Johnny Depp because it just wasn't that clearly about him.
But that's so interesting because in the deposition of Eric George that Ben Chu did, Eric George essentially admitted that it was about Johnny Depp, and what his job was to try and help it, make it look like it wasn't about Johnny Depp. And then for that exact reason, and then Elaine even came out not too long ago. Well, I mean, it feels like not too long ago, and even said, "Well, of course it was about Johnny Depp" in one of the court documents. So, that I feel like actually, I feel kind of a little bit sorry for Amber's legal team because there's not much to work with there.
Well, I will say there is some nuance there, and this may be the type of thing that that lawyers get all hung up about, and the jury is going to be like, what on earth are you on about? We don't think about it this way. But there is a difference between whether Amber Heard intended it to be about Johnny Depp and whether a reasonable, objective viewer will necessarily understand that it was intended to be about Johnny Depp.
Right. Okay.
To Johnny Depp. That is one of the elements she has to prove. The statement was of or concerning Johnny Depp. And she did deliberately write it in this oblique way, where there's just enough there that if you were paying attention to what Amber Heard was doing 2 years ago, you'd be able to connect the dots. But outside of the realm of those of us who, were aware of all that happening at the time, it is possible that, an average person who doesn't follow celebrity news would read that and have absolutely no idea what she's talking about. So that is a distinction that she can make and frankly is fair given what the actual legal element is that has to be proven. It's just ultimately going to come down to the jury's determination of, how evident was it that this was a Depp smear.
And like,
great. That was pretty cool. That was really, really cool. I think the last thing I have here, we've got, before we go, we just have that statement from Adam's deposition about being thrown down the stairs. That was the other thing. That's another thing they covered on the podcast briefly is the incident on the stairs. That was one of the inciting events that led you to ask to move in with me. You told me and others on staff that you tried to stop Amber from attacking Johnny and nearly got thrown down the stairs. At no point in time was it ever said to me that Johnny had hit Amber nor abused her in any way. Had you ever expressed concern that Johnny was abusing Amber, I would have gotten a social worker or someone to help you to remove your sister from that situation. I would have done anything to help you in any way. This is Adam, which is Amber's sister's boyfriend, right? Or fiance?
No,
right?
this,
right?
No.
Oh, sorry. Oh, go back. Adam, so wait, your sister. I have gotten to help remove your sister from that situation.
Yeah, can't remember who that was from. I thought it was
Is
from.
this from Rose or is this from Paris?
Let me.
Maybe, I don't know. We're going to have to find out, but we will get back to you on that one because I'm confused now because I thought that that was actually
Yeah, because that says Adam, but the only Adam I know associated with the case is Adam Walton.
it's the word, it's the
It threw
lawyer.
me
Yeah.
off.
No,
Yeah. I was
no.
like,
This is definitely from Laura, so I'll go back and find it, and then we'll be able to. I will actually clarify that for you guys at the next one. I'm sorry, we're not trying to muck it up and confuse you on any of it, but that
I
is definitely not related to the Bahamas. This is related to the staircase incident, right?
right. Yep. I just jumped in. I'm looking really quick to see if I
Okay.
can get clarification.
Whoop. Hmm.
Woo. Do, 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 do.
You know, I get it. Yeah, and I will be linking the videos and everything below after the stream. Usually I'm waiting now because Mandy and I have been pulling stuff up as we go if we think of something else. So I want to make sure we link everything. So I'm going to be linking that full video from the clip that you just saw. I'm going to be linking the 2 documents that I read. There's also a couple of other things that happened during the week. Of course, you know that the 2 Twitter feeds for both Jax and Laura are linked below, as well as a link to the podcast and to the playlist for all of our episodes for Mandy and I in this little series we're doing on Depp versus Heard before the trial. The good news is that I have seen, Mandy, as you have, perhaps that many people are planning on doing the live feed
Yes.
daily, and that the court has approved live feed of the trial. It's going to be big. And so there are many different opportunities to see it. Mandy and I will discuss amongst each other how we'll be doing recaps for you guys
Oh my
of this
gosh. I
and
know.
how often we
It's
should do them
so
and whatever,
long.
because we're going to have a lot to say. But since we can do those at night after the trial is over, it might be fun, Mandy. We might, who knows,
Yeah.
we'll pick a couple nights to do it. But we will definitely I can assure you with my schedule that I will be on that trial feed like every day taking notes.
Yeah.
And I'm sure Mandy will be on her breaks from work too. It's going to be crazy.
I'll be
It's going to
listening.
be crazy.
So I just found a couple interesting things because I jumped over to Twitter really quick. So
Okay.
I just wanted, I found the text
Mhm.
from Amber's dad to Johnny. We've got a few minutes. Are we still good?
Yes, we are. Yes,
Okay.
we are.
It says, go ahead. Okay, it says,
Oh.
JD, I understand little more about what's going on than I did. I'm not mad. I understand. A man has got to be a man, and I'm not saying that you were completely justified, but I understand. I'm talking to Paige, and I think I know what is going on a little better. I wish you and I were talking, and I can tell you that I told you before I could fix this if I could sit down with you and Amber at the same time by ourselves, and you would understand why I don't want to kill you, could beat you up or anything. I would say no more hitting for anybody. I think you and Amber, Jack, and Lily Rose only should go to the island for a few days and let me talk to Amber and tell her what needs to stop doing to help your situation. I still love you like a brother or father or whatever, and I think it could work things out. I think the whole thing about all friends and everything is getting in the way, but the main thing is that Amber should never hit you or call you another name, and same goes for you. And if that were the case, you guys could be happy together for the rest of your lives. I mean that, and I know that from the bottom of my heart. I know that Amber needs help with her temper, and same as you need help with your problem with drugs and alcohol mixing together. Good, because causes you to lose control. Even though it's not one-sided, she's not blameless, and I know that, but she's my kid and I love her unconditionally, but I think you do too. That speaks volumes for many things. Not only is now it's a lie because Amber said, well, Johnny begged me to go away with him.
Right.
No,
Exactly.
he did.
No.
It was her dad's idea. And then her dad owns up and says that he's acknowledging that she's abusive to Johnny. And not that he's blameless, which none of us say he is. I'm sure he screamed and yelled at her. But the problem that always gets to me is everything that Johnny has done, he has admitted to doing. He admitted, I hadn't drank and then I got drunk because I was so upset. I was doing coke, yes, this was mine. So he admitted to those things. He admitted to hitting her foot with the door. He admitted to accidentally headbutting her when they were, when he was trying to calm her down one time. So he at least has the balls to admit his
Right.
part of all of this. And the
Mhm.
fact that she admits no fault and blames it all on him is just
Exactly.
infuriating.
It is. It is. It's incredibly infuriating. And thank you for that, because there is big talk about him being involved now by giving a deposition, and he at least is trying to be honest, and kind of paint it like both ways. Like, you know what I mean? He's not like all Johnny or all Amber. It sounds like truth to me. It just sounds like honest truth, which we need some of that, right? We need some of that, definitely.
Yeah.
In there. Two things. Juju, you asked like who that was on the video. I am going to link it. That is Stevie SJ, SJW, and he does a lot of coverage on Amber. We will be linking him down below. This video and some other links. Also, the Umbrella Guy does a lot. We always link him too. He does have a community post out about the live feed that's going to be happening. I'll be sharing that to the back of my community post. We'll also give you a link to his latest video, because that was also very interesting, down below in the description. After the stream, I'll be updating. If you give me about an hour after the stream, I usually get all the links in there if I don't get sidetracked, by something else, but I should have it all in there by then. And also occasionally I add links as we go, if somebody asks me information. We always have the playlist there that you can go back and see some of the older stuff. There's plenty of links in there too to other things you may not have seen. We try to give you as much source as we can, because remember, we're giving you commentary and opinion on things we've read and seen. We're not lawyers. We're not even paralegals. We got nothing to do with any of it. We're just very biased against Amber at this point, to tell you the truth. And we want justice for Johnny, because we do believe that this whole thing got hijacked and he got beaten down for a divorce and is suffering for it now, and he lost his whole career unnecessarily at this point. And we're hoping he can get some of that back with this trial.
Did you see what this bee has put into evidence? She has her PR company, or whoever is doing this, has gone out and found any article ever written negatively about a movie Johnny Depp was in, so that she can claim that he was already on a downhill slope before they got together. And here's
the thing.
Going and pulling Rotten Tomatoes movie thing and calling that evidence. Honey,
all right,
that's just hearsay. That's just somebody writing something.
Exactly. But here, let me point out the legal implications of that, because we all know with defamation, not only do you have to prove that something that you said was not true, okay? So say, like, she's already planning for the judgment to be little. Like, this is what she's doing. She already knows that she's going to be proven a liar. So now her legal team is working on the fact that they're going to prove that perhaps he wasn't as great an actor as they said. So the defamation punitive damages can be smaller, so it's not so monetarily impactful when she's proving a liar and has to pay for the words that she uttered against him. They're already actively trying to discredit the value of his work.
Yep.
That speaks volumes of guilt. Volumes of guilt. They're not trying to prove what she said was true. They're trying to prove it doesn't matter. He was on his way out anyway.
Yeah.
That is, to me, that was like, what? Legally, I guess that's what you would be doing. At least the lawyers are making their money, because that's what they should be doing. If you're going to be found to be in the wrong here, they want to make the impact of it as small as possible.
Right.
But oh my word,
isn't the 50 million just loss of pirates?
I would say it's just loss of Pirates. And
Yeah.
who's going to say he did bad in Pirates? I dare you. Come on, I'll fight you.
We
I will
will.
fight you. Who could actually say that character was not 100% Johnny Depp? He owned it in, oh my gosh, like, no. Wait, where are you going to find a Rotten Tomato about Pirates? Come on.
I will.
You will find Rotten Tomatoes about Pirates after he left with the
Yes.
female version and the other version and this version that no, they all sucked. I'm sorry, not sorry. They sucked. They didn't have no Jack Sparrow. And Jack Sparrow is Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah, and you know what's really just unfortunate about that is that because of the contract, they are able to keep his likeness. There are rides at Disneyland with him. So they get to keep his likeness. They get to still, if they wanted to,
and
put
it
out.
gets nothing.
Yep. So yeah, the 50 mil, if I recall, is specifically for Pirates because if I remember right, there was a clause in his contract for Fantastic Beasts that they had to pay him. If I remember right, here, I will Google, but if I remember right, he made the money off of Fantastic Beasts. So
no, I hope I really, that characterization was also spot on. And that's a shame. Before Davros left, he left us a little note that said that she is still banned in Australia, and he's very happy she got dropped from Aquaman 2. So am I. And he also says something about Brie Larson that I'm going to look into later for my other Thursday. I've got the oh my god fuckery coming on. We talk about the larger YouTubers and celebrities and stuff. So we're going to be looking into that.
Interesting.
You know what, Brilliant? That's a good point, and I hope people do that. Everybody, just go upvote all of Johnny Depp's movies to make Amber wrong about this. This is like, this is true because I do see that on the internet and all. The tide is turning. When you search for him, you see more good than bad these days, and I'm very happy for it.
Yeah. So the other night I Googled his name because I do this randomly.
She is a total Deppite. Like, you can tell.
Don't even be a hater because it's facts. And I guess he's getting a couple roles and he's got another cartoon.
I know he's going to be the voice of Day. I did see that. I'm gonna find that and link that for you too because that's very interesting. But I'm really interested in the French movie because I don't know about you, but Johnny Depp in French, I can't contain myself. I cannot and that was only a little bit in Chocolate. This is like a whole big French thing. Like I'm just like, please let him speak French for me, please, just a little bit. I only need a clip. It's all I need. I'll put it on rewind. I'll make it like into a loop. I just need Johnny Depp speaking French, and I swear, I'm gonna die a happy woman.
Yeah,
I really am.
It's called. I found it. It's called Puffins. Puffins.
Yes, INS, and they're really cute. Yep, Puffins Impossible, and we're gonna link. Just drop it. Oh, you know where to drop it with the other one, and I'll grab that if you have it. But anyway, Krabby, yes, boundaries are so damn important. I can't stress that enough. I talk about it all the time. I actually came out on YouTube talking about that. Back in the day. Don't I sound like I've been here forever already, Mandy? Back in the day, when I was a pup, back last February when I started, I definitely focused on things like boundaries and just proper internet behavior, all kinds of bullshit I was pissed off about because y'all were a mess out here. And I actually thought I had something to say about it that I'm still saying every damn day over and over again. Nobody wants to hear this stuff. Well, boundaries are totally, that's where it is with these people. People like Amber Heard. Boundaries are necessary. Krabby, what you're dealing with, I'm sorry. We're always here for you. We got an ear. Well, boundaries, absolutely, you got it right. They are definitely the best thing. You just got to keep yourself away and honor those boundaries. No is always a valid answer. Absolutely. No is probably the best answer,
Yep.
And I know, show it's not that you guys don't understand. My chat pretty much understands. You wouldn't be here with me if you didn't understand. I'm just talking about like this other fraction of YouTube that we have to deal with on a daily basis. Like, really, really. It's just no, not you at all. I'm telling you.
I'm not around very much.
No, and it's probably, now that I got you out here and you see some good part of YouTube, at least out here, and where we hang out mostly doing the research and everything, it doesn't really happen because they're too busy doing their thing like we should be, paying attention to what we actually want to accomplish out here, what we really have to say, what we really want to be proud of is content, but, not everybody's like that, unfortunately, Mandy. Well,
No,
what are we going to do?
To all of this Johnny Depp stuff because it's hyped up like big time right now because there's so much going on. And I'm always like, I am up in the legal ones big time. I love
that you and I have in common very much so. The other one I'm going into deep very shortly. Right now I'm working on the Manson update because of that loss.
You got to watch Captain Colonel chick or whatever.
I know. I did. You sent me. Yeah, I did. And I'm also doing Masterson with Scientology. They're my big ones that I mean, I have the other ones. I got Lori Deval and, Morphu and those, but the ones that really intrigue me are the ones, the Manson update, because I've been following that for so long. And just this Masterson one with Scientology is really annoying the heck out of me legally. Yeah. The way Scientology tries to misuse the system and just bury it in paperwork is a little incredible. But,
that's what Amber lawyers have done.
That is what most people with a lot of money do. Just bury it in the paperwork and just muck up the system. And it's very disrespectful as far as what I think, especially when you're reading it and it's like gobbledygook nonsense, Or the last part was when Scientology said, we admitted something into evidence, but you're not allowed to use it against us because it violates church and state. We're like, you put it into evidence.
Right.
Like, get out of here. Like, dude, you just don't get to do that. Like, who do you think you are, people? Like, that was it. Anyway, the judge clearly said, no, you put it into evidence. It's evidence, period. We get to use it however we want. You don't get to say how we get to use it.
Yeah.
It's in evidence now. It proves what it proves, not whatever you want it to prove, okay? It's evidence, Okay. Anyway, not opinion, evidence, All right. It is an hour and a half. You need to go. I'm kicking you out.
Thank you.
I told you, I promised it would only be an hour and a half. It's only going to be an hour and a half tonight. And even though we have so much more to say, everyone's just going to have to come back next week for us to say it. So there you go.
Thank you for having me again. I'm gonna go.
Are you kidding? Any day of the week. You pop off.
Hang with my hubby. So good night,
go
everybody.
Hang with your hubby. See you in a week. We'll see you all in the week too. Here comes the outro. Have a great night, Mandy. Have a great night, chat. Thank you for being here. Bye.